Part 2. Azure Moon. Guardian Moon. The Delusional Prince. Prince Dimitri and the remnants of the royal army join with the remaining Knights of Seiros to form a revitalized kingdom army. Using Garreg Mach as their base of operations, they rise to action against the Empire.
Hello everybody, welcome to the next episode. In the last episode, we met up with Dimitri after 5 years. And now that the Blue Lions are back, let's see what we'll do. With Dimitri and the Blue Lions leading the war effort. Once we get past loading, come on game. Each unit has grown over the past 5 years. You should check on their classes and weapons.
You? So you were alive after all.
Professor, it is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Oh, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Gilbert has told us everything. From here on, our strength is yours as well.
Does my heart well to see that all of you are safe. Now that we have all gathered, let's discuss our next course of action.
We have two objectives: to overthrow the Empire and to rescue Rhea. I have no objection to joining forces with you. After all, our interests are aligned.
Nothing could be more reassuring than securing the cooperation of the Knights of Seiros.
Let's fight together.
The Archbishop entrusted all of her affairs to you. From now on, I shall comply with your wishes.
We'll make Garreg Mach our base, and prepare to make our stand against the Empire. There is a fair amount of damage, but we will at least have shelter from the wind and rain.
Surely those Imperial jerks have this place staked out, right? It's a highly strategic location.
While it may be a strategic location, it's too far from the front lines to be worthy of notice at the moment. This area is inconvenient as far as transport time is concerned, so it's of little importance to their war effort.
Even so, nothing slips past the Emperor. It is safe to assume she at least has this place under surveillance.
Professor, what do you think about making this place our base?
Gathering resources would be difficult.
Yes, that is a valid concern. Fortunately, there are still villages and hamlets nearby, and though I wouldn't call them abundant, we have war funds as well. What do you think, Your Highness?
Do as you please.
Hey, don't act like this doesn't concern you. We finally are reunited after all this time. We've got to work together.
She's right. In fact, why don't we all join forces and clean this place up a bit?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And it'll give us time to reminisce about all the good old days at the Academy. I can't wait.
How carefree of you.
It may sound trivial, but, well, I think it's a good idea.
I understand feeling impatient, Your Highness, but patience is key at a time like this. If we fix up our base, it will improve morale, which will be sorely needed as we...
Fools.
Let's all settle down.
Stay out of this.
Please, calm yourself, Your Highness. We are not your enemies.
My enemies say the same.
What happened to him? It's like he's a completely different person.
I feel so bad for him. Would it help if I brewed him a nice pot of tea?
I cannot claim to understand how he feels. However, the way he's behaving, it's as though he's being haunted by some unseen force.
He wasn't always like this.
Perhaps.
Mercedes wants to see us.
Do you have a moment, Professor? I need to speak with you. Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to address. This letter from my adoptive father just arrived.
Adopted father?
Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers' Academy. He's also the one who dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest.
I don't understand.
My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility. He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble. I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war?
My thoughts exactly.
I don't know what to do about this proposal.
Will you accept?
I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must. I just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no.
What does your heart want?
I believe I've mentioned this before, but I want to work in service of the church. Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need. If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream.
Why can't you decide? The decline.
It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me. I convinced myself.
Oh no, wait, I think it was decide.
At the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the Officers' Academy. The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will. My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him. Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that. It's not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me.
Severing your ties?
I knew you'd understand, Professor. I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the words. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need.
You can't just give up on your dreams.
That's a very good point. We're only given one life, so we must do all we can to pursue our happiness. Okay. I think that may have been just the push I was looking for. I'll tell him the truth. That I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal. Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else.
Fallen for someone else?
Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious?
Excuse me?
I'm just teasing. Now I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground. Thank you for your encouragement.
We are now in A. It's Ingrid's birthday.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. bit hot. Yes. Yes.
Nice. Oh, come on.
Are you sure?
Screw you.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Thank you for the treat. I had such a great time.
Alright. So let's go and explore. So if we take a look at our roster, everybody that you had recruited prior to the war will be here with one exception. If you look through the Golden Deer students, you're gonna notice somebody is missing. You're gonna notice that Lawrence is missing from your army. Just like in Silver Snow, Lawrence does not make it back to the monastery to keep his promise. So you have to basically find him later and convince him to rejoin your army if you had recruited him prior to the war. And Ferdinand wants to see us.
Take that!
You're fighting more intensely than usual.
Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. She put my father under house arrest. She stripped House Eyre of its power. Rather than accepting a role as her puppet, I left. Now I fight to topple the Empire. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing.
That's not true.
But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Eyre, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever.
It's the journey, not the destination.
I appreciate that, but it is not enough to persuade me. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor?
Yes?
Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
You now be with Ferdinand. Let's go to the training ground.
I'm so glad I found you here, Professor. Now I don't have to worry about what to do with myself. Captain Geralt told me to look out for you after all. So now my purpose is clear. I'll do everything I can to protect you.
Right, I have 2 lost items that belong to Blue Lions. So we got the advanced sword tournament today. Now, another thing I'm going to point out. Look at your list of students here. you're going to notice somebody is also missing from your list of students. You cannot select Dimitri as an option. During the war phase, for a mass majority of the war phase, you cannot use Dimitri in any activity whatsoever. So you cannot use him in tournaments, you cannot use him in the hot spring, you cannot dine with him, you cannot use him, period, in activities. The only time you can use Dimitri, and this also goes for training every week. Dimitri is only usable in battle for the majority of the war phase. So this makes using him and primarily building up his supports really difficult if you didn't build up the majority of his supports during the academy phase. As once you actually do have the ability to build up Dimitri's supports again, you are kind of pressed for time. But anyway, let's have Felix enter the sword tournament.
You fought well. Pointless. Alright, next.
But yeah, as we're going through this, Dimitri is the only lord in this game that has this restriction during the war phase. Edelgard, if you do Crimson Flower, does not have this restriction. Claude does not have this restriction. If you want to count Setif as a lord, then yeah, he doesn't have this restriction. And if you also want to count Yuri as the lord of the wolves, then yeah, he also doesn't have this restriction. Dimitri is the only lord in this game that has this restriction.
Alright, next.
So we get a new silver sword and some money. But yeah, if you're going to do Blue Loins, just do be aware of this fact. So you want to mainly train up Dimitri and build up his supports during the academy phase. Let me see. Let's do Shamir. Oh, come on! And if I do increase staying, will stay longer, I'll pass out. I hate I hate that place sometimes. Oh, apparently Yuri wants to see us.
Looks like I've got them all.
Am I interrupting?
Nah, just wrapped up what I was doing. Need something, friend?
Is that what you just wrapped up?
Oh, you mean this? I use it to write down the names of everyone I've lost over the years. We lost a lot of lives back in the war. Some of them were only with me a little while. Some of them were family to me.
What do you do? What do you do? Write down their names?
Somewhere along the way, I figured I should record the names of those I've lost. The ones I failed to protect. There's nothing we can do for the dead. Not in this world. Not really, anyway. And it's not like we know what happens after. So writing their names down here, that's all just for me. For the one who's still around. After all, they deserve to be remembered. Even if they're not here to see it. We all shared the same dream. They lost their lives to build that dream. And as their leader, it's on me to remember them, however I can.
That's a heartfelt gesture.
Oh, you think so, do you? And here I thought I was just the heartless villain in your eyes. Well, anyway, make of my notebook what you will. It doesn't matter much to me. If you go before I do, I'll make sure to add you in here as well.
You intend on putting my name in your notebook?
You heard me. I mean, you're not exactly one of my people, per se. At this point, I do have to admit that I can count on you. I kinda get the sense that if I hang around you, that dream I've been grasping for will become all the more real. So, do me a favor and don't go dying on me, okay?
Same to you.
It'd take a lot to get rid of me. I was born under a particularly lucky star. Cat got your tongue. Looks like you want to say something but don't know how.
So much talk of names, and yet I don't know yours.
That again? You don't give up easy, do you? Alright, I'll toss you a bone. My name's not actually my name. But it's the one I'm enrolled with here at the Academy. The one I've hung on to as the adoptee of House Row. Come to think of it, the last I heard someone use my real name was... a very long time ago. From my mom. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll tell you. Perhaps if you decide to pursue that dream alongside me, you'll find out.
We are now in A with him. Let's go to the Amiibo Gazebo. See what items there are there and what's in the Holy Tomb.
Hey, Professor. It's been a while. It's really good to see you again. An awful lot has happened in these past 5 years. There were so many times I wished you were around. I'm glad you're back. Your skills are worth more than a whole army.
Dude.
Oh, that's mine. Oh, thanks, Professor. You really saved the day.
I thought that might have been yours. And yeah, that one's not yours. But I thought the stag one would be.
I have a favor to ask.
It seems the rare books the Church of Ceros does not make publicly available has turned up in Abyss. If you could somehow get your hands on that list. So, when we're in Abyss, we'll look for a rare book. Really? Only one item? Ooh, the Hemlock Shield. And, oh wait, there's an item here. Now back to the monastery.
Thank you so much. I am grateful. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's take a look. So many people wanted to speak to me. Alright, so there's nobody in the dormitory, so I don't need to check there. Bernadette's in her room.
At last, I return to my domain. My lonely paradise. My realm of exquisite solitude. Huh? Professor? Is that you? You didn't hear that just now, did you?
Hear what?
Right. You didn't? Well, good.
I love Bernadetta. Alright, let's go into the greenhouse. Let's see how things have been growing for 5 years. Ooh, not a bad haul. Add this. Cultivate. I see Lysithia.
I should probably keep things to myself. But in all honesty, what matters to me more than anything is ensuring a peaceful, quiet future for my parents. I don't care about the kingdom. I simply want to remove the threat of the Empire. Because of this, Dimitri's fixation on Edelgard is convenient to me. I fight for my own reasons and no others.
Yeah, that's also another thing to note. All your students, they will actually say different things to you in the first day of the... I didn't mean to speak to you, Cat. In the first day of the war phase, particularly with the lord you sided with. Because in this one, she mentions that because of Dimitri's fixation on Edelgard, it's convenient for her. Where in Silver Snow, she does not say that. So yeah, I do like that, the characters will say different things depending on your route. I think even their support conversations do change depending on the route as well. So their support conversations will be slightly different. I know for a fact for the Black Eagle students, their support conversations are completely different in the Black Eagle route. Because in any other route, they talk about going against Edelgard, but in the Black Eagle route, you actually see what they think if they actually sided with her. Wow, and there's not a lot of good fish.
Do you have time for a request?
The fish seem skittish lately. It is said that every 5 years, in the wake of a storm, a mysterious fish appears and eats up all the other fish in the pond. They call it the Big One, though I thought it was legend. Right, I forgot about this. And there's the big one right there. Damn it.
You've done me a great service.
Got rid of the big one. Now the other fish can rest easy. Assuming fish rests. Anyway, nice work. Yeah, I forgot about that side quest. I thought that side quest wasn't until next month. But anyway.
I'd given up on ever seeing you again. Where have you been hiding? Anyway, now that we're reunited in the land of the living, I must fulfill my promise.
Right, the promise.
Right. I promised the captain I'd protect you in his stead, and now I'll make good on my word.
There's our good old gatekeeper.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. You know, it's such a thrill to be able to greet you like this again. I almost died as well in the battle 5 years ago, but I won't allow any enemies to get into this place again. I promise you that. Even if the Death Knight shows up, I'll be sure to... Well, for now, I'll keep training, so I can eventually feel confident that I can stop him. Hello there.
Hey, let's go to the market.
This one, yes? I think this one, yes? I thank you. This one, yes? This one, yes? I think 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 this one, yes?
Buy up all the gifts.
I think this one, yes?
They will be useful.
This one, yes?
Especially if I get near the end of this
I think
route and I need to build up my supports very quickly.
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. 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 A pleasure doing business. Come again.
Now, there's unrest everywhere these days. All of my fellow merchants seem to be endangered. I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals. Hey, how about a favor?
Get particular trend. And I don't have enough.
Hello.
Hello there. Got a favor to ask.
I want to start a collection that chronicles the history of Outland, but I'm having trouble getting my hands on anything significant. Honestly, it might be easier to excavate an artifact rather than try to find one for sale.
Oh.
Professor.
Ingrid wants to see us.
Apologies for bothering you so late. I just really wanted to speak with you.
I am happy to listen.
Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle of a war like this.
I like to hear it anyway.
This isn't something I open up about with many people. Feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry for the benefit of the Galatea family.
You don't have to do what you don't want to.
Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he struggled over the years. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving. Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Now that this war has begun, my father has allowed me to fight for my homeland. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry, that I have shunned my duty as a noble.
Could you not find a way to do both?
To follow both my dream and my duty? I had never considered that as an option. Perhaps there is a way. Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
You're now an A with her.
Professor, is there any reason for me to remain here? I want to be useful, of course, but I'm not sure anyone needs me.
I need you here.
If you really mean that, I will stay and do my best to help.
Find some seeds. Yeah, conversation can trigger if I go there. Anybody in here? Yep, there's Shamir.
I'm more of a mercenary than a knight these days. I work to get paid. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around.
Yeah, and she actually does follow through with that. If you never recruited Shamir during the academy phase, she will actually leave Fodlan and not be involved in the war. And it seems like Sylvain wants to see us.
Ugh, that hurts. Ah, Professor. Thanks for stopping by.
You got hurt protecting me.
It's not bad. I was even told I'd be cleared for service starting tomorrow. Besides, I got this scar fighting for you. It's almost like a medal or something.
Are you happy you protected me?
When I thought you were going to be killed for real, my reflexes kicked in. I reacted without thinking. It doesn't mean I've stopped being jealous of you. But come on, I can't help but look up to you. If I'd had the guts to run away from home, I wonder if I would have cared as little about my crest as you do yours.
You didn't have the courage?
No. But if I thought I could have escaped, I would have tried. I'd leave behind House Gautier and the life of a nobleman and anybody who knew I had a crest. Our home is to the very north of the kingdom. Just across the mountains from us is land inhabited by foreigners to Fodlan. It once belonged to Fargus, but now that the kingdom has collapsed, it's only a matter of time until fighting breaks out. Anyway, that land has been contested for centuries, and all that time, it has fallen to House Gautier to protect it. Actually, our Lance of Ruin has been doing most of the protecting.
I remember, 5 years ago.
Those were dangerous times. One wrong step, and we would have lost our relic to the church. My father was afraid that the church would try to keep the lance, so he entrusted it to me. If an emergency arose, I was supposed to be called back home. I guess those very situations are why my family values crests so much. Since I bear a crest, my parents made sure I was never left wanting. My older brother didn't have one, and so when I was born, he was pushed aside. You know, he once shoved me in a well. He left me on the mountainside in the middle of winter, too.
That's horrible.
Even as a little kid, I understood why he was like that. My mere existence stole everything from him. I have no right to complain when I am surrounded by people who would give anything to bear a crest, but do not. Now, women smile at me for the same reason my parents adore me, and my brother wanted me dead. And I have to meet them all with a smile and a wink, because I have a crest.
You're wrong.
Yeah, it's late to admit it, but I get you. It would be best just to tell them to heap their empty praise elsewhere. Anyway, it was pretty unreasonable of me to resent you. I'm really sorry about that. And I want to say thank you, Professor. Seriously, thank you.
For what?
Before I met you, I'd gone my whole life not knowing there was another way for me to live. So, from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad we met.
Okay.
In the Alliance, the Lords have been at odds.
so peace and prosperity have declined there as well. In particular, bandits have been appearing in large numbers near the Great Bridge of Murden. Rumor has it that the domain's lord, someone by the name of Acheron, is a completely ineffectual leader.
Right. Let's go to the cathedral.
Well...
It seems that in the last 5 years, the monks here have left this place for the town below. However, once they learn of our return, perhaps they'll come back. I hope the monastery can return to normal someday.
Alright, let's hear the counselor. Every day is filled with nothing but harshness of war. My only solace is eating sweets. Is that childish for me? Everyone finds solace in different ways.
Oh, Professor. Seeing everyone together again? It's like I'm in a dream. I feel it's time for me to forge my own path and find my own place in this world.
What about your family? Are they okay?
Yes. They're in the Alliance, but they're merchants, so they have the means to escape if need be.
Alright,
Singing's okay, but I should really have a cute dance to go along with it.
I'm not good, but I'm loud. You might want to run for cover.
Here we can see Dimitri.
Hello there.
He won't say anything to you. A quarterstone fragment. A fragment of a stone that has existed since the monastery's foundation.
Hello. I have a request concerning that creature. I can hardly look at the thing in the state it's in. Do something about it.
I'll see what I can do.
Please do. We tracked the boar for 5 years. I thought he was dead. In the state he's in, he might as well be. He's gotten better at killing people. And in exchange, surrendered what little humanity he had.
Yeah, so... yeah, Blue Loins shows that Felix actually does care about Dimitri. Despite him calling him Boar and showing some kind of animosity towards Dimitri, he actually does care about him. Yeah, that was everybody.
Really?
Let's go upstairs.
During his search for her grace, the Archbishop, Seteth has visited churches all across the land. It served to demonstrate to the devout across Fodlan that the Church of Seros is still going strong. As a result, the faithful are not currently in a state of chaos.
That's good to hear. And also now, in the war phase, you have access to the 3rd floor.
Oh yeah. I don't know anything about rebuilding, but I can sure do my best to clean up the mess. I'm gonna keep Lady Rhea's room spotless, so she can use it right away whenever she gets back.
Yep, so this is Rhea's room.
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here.
It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
Let's go back downstairs.
In Lady Rhea's absence, I will follow you. That's what she would want me to do. Know that wherever you might lead us, I'll continue searching for Lady Rhea.
That's fine.
Good, because I will not budge on that point. Welcome back, Professor.
No one else is here, so let's go down the hallway.
Yes. 5 long years I've searched for you and the Archbishop. It is a pleasure to see you again. The Church of Seiros will follow you from now on, but please do not abandon the search for Lady Rhea.
We will do whatever it takes to find her.
Thank you. I know the battles ahead will be dire, but we will support you with all our strength.
Professor? My professor, you haven't changed a bit. At your age, I'd expect your whole demeanor to have changed greatly over 5 years. Though, I suppose I haven't changed either, right? Thank you for noticing, by the way. Ah, just the 2 of us, forever young. Oh, let me have my fun.
Alright, let's go and see Hardiman.
Thankfully, it appears the records and equipment I need for my research have not been damaged. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail.
We can talk about that.
Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course.
Alright, let's go over and check. Is there anybody in the library? Doesn't look like it. Anybody way over here?
Listen, I have lost my dominion. My nobility may seem like nothing more than a title, but I will never lose my noble heart. I will stop Edelgard, even if it costs me my life. I have turned my blade against her now. I cannot go back on that decision. Professor, do you think I chose the wrong path?
Not at all.
You are right.
We have given proper burial to the Imperial soldiers killed in the monastery, the ones who were sent to investigate the thieves. Already, rumors spread that they were utterly annihilated. So regardless of whether there are spies observing us, the Imperial army will know of this soon enough. Your Highness, Dmitri, how could you be so reckless? I have a request.
Professor, might I ask you to help us secure resources? We got an Alsvetter.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I think we'll go downstairs, check the travelers, and then we'll end the episode because we're getting close to time. No. Alright, you as a... Constance is a dancer. That's an interesting class to make her. Why not? Okay. And what about my traveler? Did they make any money? Yes, they did! Wow, she earned a lot. Let's do Shamir. Local specialties.
Okay.
Send you off. And with that, we will end the episode here. So in the next episode, we will continue exploring the monastery to see how everyone is. And then we'll probably start doing the supports. If you enjoyed this episode, do like the videos, it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts of this episode. And share the video so that way more people can discover my content and help the channel grow. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.